everybody. It's getting to be winter time, as you might know. We've already actually had about 15 to 17 inches of snow this year. But I have not used the plow once. I've been using the four-wheeler and just shoveling when needed. It's only been, we've had some, 5, 6 inches in October, but it melted fast, so we just cleaned off the blacktop and that was it. But now it's December. Actually, it's Christmas Eve today. Merry Christmas, everybody. And got to get the plow ready for the winter season. And the owner's manual for this Western plow is just to change the fluid before the season starts. And that's what I'm going to do today. Make sure there's no leaks on some of the hoses, but the big thing is just change the fluid in the Western plow and get it ready for plowing the big snows once that comes around. So stick around and hope you enjoy it. Alright, so this Western MVP Plus snowplow was purchased brand new in 2012, and it's only been used for plowing our driveway. I've helped some friends out every now and then if you need it, but most of the time it's just plowing our own driveway, and it's only been stored inside in the garage. Never spent a day outside, so for the most part it's in like new condition as far as surface goes. Had to replace the hoses once. This is the second truck it's been on, so transferred the electronics from the old truck to this truck. We've been using the Western hydraulic fluid, so I've got 2.5 quarts here today. Hopefully that's enough. I think it is. And then I've got the owner's manual and all the service records and stuff on it. The owner's manual is just directions on how to mount it. Owner's manual has instructions on how to do the maintenance of it. I bought it December 13th, 2012. So, annual fluid change, page 91. Change the fluid at the beginning of each plowing season. So that's what I'm doing today. Got notes in here. Need a 7/16 inch wrench for the fill plug, and then the drain plug is 11/16. I need 3/4 for the hydraulic hoses. So we'll get to that and get draining. Okay, the first thing to do is turn the truck on, at least the key on, and put the plow in float mode. Come around and push this ram down so everything is compressed in, so all the fluid's inside the cylinder or in the pump. And the next is, the very important thing is to loosen the cap on the fill plug, because right now there's pressure built up inside the system, so we want to make sure that we loosen the cap first before we do the drain. First couple times I learned that this would be the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This will be the 8th or 9th time that I've done this. Do it every year. I've had it splatter all over the place, just make a mess. So it's important just to loosen the fill plug, which is back here on the back side. I usually have a rag with as well. 7/16 wrench. Whoever tightened it tightened it pretty good. That was me last year. Okay, put a rag over it just in case. Feel a little bit of pressure in there. Yep. And it might have been a little full, so the little fluid came out. See? But it's able to contain most of it. Wipe it up a little bit. Next we need a drain. The drain is right here. Lower you down a little bit. The drain is right here, and that's going to be an 11/16 inch open-ended wrench. Rags wiped down. Be prepared. I'm always prepared to clean up after myself too. I like to put a funnel right underneath it, right here, to catch it. Otherwise, it dribbles down the case. So 11/16. Got a drain pan underneath. And loosen it up. I'd imagine much of the newer plows are very similar. I'm not sure. I'd like to get one, but this thing's been working just fine for me. It's 8 years old and it's in perfect condition. So we're draining. Let that guy drain for a little bit. I always try to minimize the amount of spillage, but I usually spill. I already see there's some drops on the concrete. Nothing a little brake cleaner can't clean up. That's done. Clean up a little bit. Put the cover back on. Okay, the next step is to remove the fluid as much as we can from the hydraulic hoses and the rams, the 2 cylinders for the V mechanism. We've drained the pump and the reservoir that's in there. Now we gotta do these hoses. And steps for that, you remove the hoses for each side, put them in the drain pan, and then just manually push the wing back and forth to pump out the fluid. So I'll grab my towel here and 3/4 inch wrench. So that's tight. I don't want to tighten it. A little bit of droppage out of the fittings. So take these 2 and bend them down and lay them in a drain pan. And then we'll manually take the wing. We'll manually take the wing and just pull it out. Push it back in. One more time. Okay. We'll put it back on. Alright, the big hose goes on top. On this side, and just check the manual. You gotta pay attention to which ones go where. Top one goes to the base of the hydraulic cylinder. And the little hose goes to the front. I always try to put a little counter twist on it before I tighten it, because when you tighten these, the hose starts to twist a little bit, and that kind of screws up the routing a little bit. We'll do the other side. Got a little fluid in there. You probably can't see it very well, but it's in there. Slip a rag back here. Little hose goes on top. Little hose goes at the front of the cylinder. And big hose goes on the bottom. Goes to the back of the cylinder. I should order another set of hoses. Or go get some made. Just to have them. They start to leak over time. My last ones, they were leaking on the plow side. Maybe little blue dots in the snow. A little counter twist. Successfully drained it, and now it's time to put new oil in. Clean up. Okay, now we're on to filling the reservoir, and it takes it's three steps. Fill it up, extend the driver's wing out, in and out with the plow controls. Fill it up again, extend the passenger wing out, and then fill it up again, or sorry, extend it out, pull it back in, extend it out, pull it back in a couple times until the cylinder and the lines are filled. And then fill it up a third time, and then lift it up and drop it a couple times to make sure all the lines, air's out of the lines. And I made notes in my manual. The first fill is about a quart and 8 ounces. Second fill is about 8 ounces, and the third fill is about 6 ounces. And then once you're all done, after you lift it up and down a couple times, usually you gotta put 3 ounces in, sometimes maybe 3 ounces or so, sometimes not much if you overfill it too much. But I've got enough oil for all of that, so that's almost 2 quarts of oil needed. And then I think, if I remember correctly, use one of these pour caps, and just pour it in there. We'll have to see what works best. Imagine if you had like a plunger or a fluid filler, that'll work pretty good too, but I'm gonna try this. It's gonna be hard to see, so we'll just keep it back here. Again, we'll need 1 quart and 8 ounces. So I'll dump the first quart in, empty that out. Here's this funnel I got for my Harley oil changes. And then we'll just pour it in there. He is just slow. Looks like there's about 8 ounces in this one, so we'll use this to top it off for the first fill. And this time I'm gonna shove my rag underneath there. It's very easy to overfill it, and you can't really see it. Get that in there. I'm gonna put a little light on the matter. I think I might have to put some more in there. That was 1 quart and 8 ounces. My dummy math, it's actually 1.5 quarts, so it's 1 quart and 16 ounces. So another 1/2 quart, or another 1/3 of a quart, or 1/4 of a quart. Full. And then we'll put plug in. Raise it down. what all you gotta do. Just extend it out and then pull it back in. Extend it up, pull it back in 3 times. And that'll fill the lines up with fluid and rid it of air. Okay, so we did the driver's side wing. Now we gotta fill it up again and do the passenger wing. My notes say it takes another 8 ounces or so of fluid. And there'll be a little pressure in the system. Careful when you're opening it. Okay, one more fill. This time it should be 6 ounces, and then we'll lift and drop it a few times. Fill that hydraulic ram. Take this off of there because lifting and dropping it is quite a load. Okay, well, one more fill. Now this is a time where sometimes I gotta fill it, sometimes I don't. I think I didn't overfill it as much this time. Once it started coming out the first time, I stopped. In the past, I remember I've like come out and then kind of top it off, and I didn't do that this time. I think that caused me to have issues when I open it up right now, so we'll see. Because when there's pressure in here and then there's fluid right up by the fill hole, that fluid will come out. So I'm gonna wrap my towel around it. No fluid came out, so we weren't over full. So top it off. Got my notes, another 4 ounces. There. We're full. Next up is just clean up and put it away till we get a snowstorm. Show you my system that I have for moving around in the shop. Usually in the off season, in the winter season, I don't put it on this system. But when it's in the off season, if I want to move it around, I'll put it on there. Okay, so this is just a brief introduction to the system that I use, especially in the off season when I want to have it so the plow is movable without having to hook it up to the truck or have the tractor lift it. I've got the Harbor Freight Haulmaster 10,000 pound or 1,000 pound capacity dollies. Got 2 little ones, and then I've got one of the big mover dolly here. The 2 little ones sit on the wings, so the wings sit on it, so you can see there's little dimples here where the wings sat. This one actually cracked. I put a 2x4 on it. So they sit underneath the wings and on either side, something like that. And then this is just a series. I got 2 2x4s sitting on the top with a 4x6 span in it, and then a 2x6 right here, and then a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, 7/16 plywood right underneath it. And that sits on the backside underneath the lights. Part of the base sits on this here, and the other part sits here. It's just a difference in height, and that makes a nice sturdy foundation for the plow to sit on. It allows me to push it around in the shop and get it out of the way if I need to. So other than that, the plow is ready for snow. Keep an eye on the hoses or anything else, any other leaks. as winter goes on, and we'll maybe have some videos posted once we do get some snow and I get to push around some snow with it. But for now, we don't have any to push around. If you like this video, hit the like button. Maybe subscribe if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and have a wonderful New Year. Thank you. Bye.